Welcome to Monarch Mom DIY. Today I have a product review and 3 DIYs for you. So let's get started. Hey everybody, I am here today with a product to test out and share with you, my viewers. I was contacted by this company called Chalkola, asking me if I wanted to try out one of their products and show it being used on my YouTube channel. And then they're also offering a discount code for you, my viewers, if you'd like to go on and purchase any of their products. There will be a code in the description box below, but this company is called Chalkola. I think because their main product are chalk markers. I actually requested these watercolor brush tip markers because I just felt like they were a little bit more versatile of a product. For me personally, I do on occasion like to make my own stamped cards, so I thought I would use them for that. But let me show you what you get. I took this out of the packaging just so we could read it. There are 26 different colors of markers. It is a soft and real brush tip, gives a watercolor effect. They are non-toxic, water-based washable ink, so they are kids safe, which is awesome. So you can feel comfortable having your kids use these. It also includes a water brush pen, which looks just like the others, except it's clear. And you do unscrew the top here, and you fill this with water and then put it back on, and we'll use this here in a minute. So let me show you what the tip looks like. Okay, this is wet because I just put water in here, but it's a really nice full brush tip, and this one with the water is a little bit bigger than the tips of the markers. I'll show you that in a second. So 26 different colors. They come in this nice plastic case. And let me show you, the markers themselves are in a nice little tray, so you can have them sitting out on your workspace. Also, you get a nice watercolor pad. This is 5.8 by 8.3 inches, 200-pound paper. So it's really nice and thick card for watercolor. I'm sure you cannot see the texture. Oh, maybe if I get really close, you can see there's a little bit of a texture to the paper. So that is a great addition if you want to draw something yourself or stamp an image and then watercolor, or just free watercolor. So after I do this little demonstration, I do have another DIY coming up using these markers in a slightly different way, so stay tuned for that. But let's just pull out, I just had some kids watercolor paper. I think it's like 100 pounds, so it's like half that. And I just found a couple images online. Again, you guys know I love doing the Google search, and I think I just put free adult coloring page flowers or something like that. So these are a couple that came up. So I just cut my paper down and fed it through my inkjet printer. I'm hoping that it's dried long enough that the water won't make the black bleed too much. So I first have to say I am a beginner at this. I did not try this off camera before I'm showing it to you. I did watch a couple of videos on, not these markers, but how to do watercolor with brush tip markers. So I'm trying it out for the first time. So let's see how it goes. If I can do it, you guys can do it. So I'm going to go with purple. And from what I saw, so let me show you, this is the tip. Oh, this is the tip of the marker. Let me show you in comparison to the tip of the water marker. There we go. So this is a little bit more fine, so you have a little bit more control. So what I want to do is, it seems like the general idea, so let's say I'm going to do this flower here. Okay, you're going to take your color, I hope you can see this, and you're going to start by taking your color and kind of outlining the outer edge of whatever. Now look at, this is bleeding a little bit because this is very watery. So I did that. Now you're going to take your water pen, and I'm just going to start pulling the color down. See how it blends, and it also is getting lighter as you blend it out. I can even do it a little bit more, depending on how much water. Ooh, that is really pretty. And just by pulling that little bit, and then it gets lighter and lighter as you go towards. Can you guys see that? Okay, hey, not bad for a beginner, right? Let's try this petal. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting that purple wet that I drew on with the marker, and now I'm just kind of bringing it down. Oh, that is so cool. Do you guys remember those art books? They were painting books, but you used Q-tips and you got them wet. And the page had like the blocks of color at the bottom, so you didn't even need paints. You just got your Q-tip wet and got it on the paper, and then got that there. That is really cool. All right, let's see if I can do. Oh, and then the what you need to do when you get a little on there is just get a blank paper and just go back and forth until the color stops coming off, and then you've cleaned off your brush. Really easy. Cool, let's try a different color. I'm into the purple and the teal these days. So I'm not a very, I should say I don't know flowers very well, so I don't know what color these flowers are supposed to be, but I just color them the colors I like. So, ooh, this color's pretty. Okay, if I just go, and I'm not making a very thick line. It seems like this color really travels really well. So again, just with my water brush pen, start to blend that down towards the center of my flower. Nice. Cool. So I am very impressed with these markers. I will put the website link below and also the discount code. Another thing that Chalkola is doing is they're going to do a giveaway where one of you can choose one item from their website for free. So you might want to try these markers out yourself, especially if you like coloring. You know, coloring is really popular these days, like with the adult coloring books and the color pencils and stuff. This, to me, you know, I love crafting. I love creating things. This to me is very like therapeutic. And if you use thick enough paper, it's not gonna like curl up and stuff. So there you go. A beginner using brush tip markers and a water pen to make watercolor. All right, so anyway, I will put all the instructions to enter the giveaway in the description box below, along with the website address for Chalkola, all the rules, like I said, for entering the giveaway. What else? Yeah, so I really like these. I'm excited to play with them some more, and maybe even finish this picture and show you what it looks like. But that's my little review and showing of these watercolor brush pens. You can go to the link below to get your own. I hope you'll stay tuned. I have one DIY craft DIY using these markers, and then my last two Valentine's decor DIYs for this year. So thanks again. For this first project, I'm using this framed mirror from Dollar Tree, a gallon Ziploc bag, these watercolor brush pens, a spray bottle of water, and a printable I found online. Again, I just did a review of these watercolor brush pens from Chalkola. You can check them out at their website. The first thing we're going to do is take our markers out of the package. Here I'm just showing you everything again that comes with it. The 26 different colors, the watercolor pad with 15 sheets of 200-pound paper, and the water brush marker. Here I just found a printable online that was about 4 by 6. I'm taking a gallon Ziploc bag and kind of covering over so that I can still see my wording. I'm just going to take a couple marker colors here, and I'm going to scribble some color on the baggie. You can see it kind of beads up a little bit because it is water based. So I'm just scribbling some color here and there. I will say that these two colors that I chose first were too similar to each other. I'm going to spritz a little bit of water and then flip my bag over quickly and then rub the water and the color so that it kind of blends together and you get this little tie-dye effect, I guess. But like I said, the red and the pink were too close together in color, so I'm going to do it again using, you guessed it, the purple and the teal that I love so much. So let's try that again. Good thing I printed a second one. This time we'll use the teal and the purple, and I loved how it turned out so much better than the red and pink. So that might be a key for this project, is use two colors that are a little more contrasting, maybe complementary rather than very, very close. Just a couple spritz of water. You'll want to flip the bag really quickly and then rub it. Try to get the color and the water to spread over the entire area. And there you go. You'll want to dry it. You can dab it. Next, we're going to take the paper trimmer and cut down around our quote once it's completely dry so that it will fit inside this frame. I chose this frame because of the decorative edge. It was a mirror, which was fine, except that it meant there was no glass going to be in front of my quote. You'll see here, once I get it cut down, I'm going to attach it to the back of the mirror and actually just put the mirror in backwards. Here I'm trying to center it so that it will be inside the frame. I will also put in the description box a couple links where I found some printable quotes that you can use for this project. Okay, moving on to our Valentine projects, I have this glass jar, these heart garlands from Dollar General, some burlap and lace ribbon, floral moss, floral foam, jute twine. I was really wanting to make this project with a tin can, like leftover from fruit or vegetables, but I didn't have one the exact size I wanted. But I did find this jar, and it was kind of short and squatty, from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to use this instead. To make it look like a tin can, though, I am going to paint it with some chalk paint. I took some mineral chalk paint and added a little bit of black just so I could get more of a silvery, a darker gray color. And I'm just going to do this kind of haphazardly around my glass jar until it is covered completely and dried completely as well. I was really excited to find these heart garlands at Dollar General this year for $2.50. You got a garland on jute twine that had 5 of these hearts. I wanted of at least 3 different hearts, so I bought the 2 different garlands. I figure I can use the other hearts another time, but I'm going to use a plain burlap, a red burlap, and the red and white gingham check. So I'm just here removing one of each from the jute twine so that I can use them for my project. The next thing I'm going to do is take 3 of my bamboo skewers, and at the bottom of the heart I'm going to hot glue a skewer into each of my hearts so that I can use them as little heart picks. Oh yes, and look what I finally found at Dollar Tree, the little fingertip protector things, which I'm sure you guys would be happy that I'm finally protecting my fingers from the hot glue. Once the gray on my jar was completely dry, I'm just taking this really dry bristly brush and I'm just going to dry brush some black chalk paint on just to give it a little more of that aged, distressed look. Our next step is to cut a little piece of this floral foam and we're going to attach it inside of our jar. You'll see the corners stick out a little bit, so I'm just kind of squishing it with my fingers just to kind of make those edges not quite so defined, and it fits in really nicely. I am going to put some hot glue though so that it will stay in place before we start adding things to our arrangement. I decided I did not like the plain skewers, so I'm just taking some of my jute twine from Dollar Tree and attaching a little bit to the back, and then once it dries, you'll see here I'm just going to twist it in my one hand while wrapping it with the other, and every once in a while I stop and push the jute twine all the way up so there's no gaps. I gotta say my wrist did get a little tired doing this, but I really liked how it turned out doing this rather than just leaving the wood plain. Now going back to our jar, I am going to take just a small amount of floral moss and cover up this floral foam block so that you cannot see it. It just took a tiny little bit and some hot glue to stick it down. So I decided I wanted my 3 hearts to be slightly different lengths, so I'm cutting 2 of them to be a little bit shorter than that red one. And now I'm just going to play. I have a variety of white florals and some greenery from Walmart and Dollar Tree along with my 3 heart picks. I'm just going to start playing and arranging them in my jar. For one last finishing touch, I'm taking again this burlap ribbon with lace and I am removing a piece of the lace. I just want a small little additional touch to go around the lip of my jar, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot, and that will be the finishing touch for this Valentine Decor DIY. And actually, even though it has hearts, you really could keep this up for a while, especially based on your colors of your decor in your home. It has just that cute little farmhouse look. And this last project is similar and very simple. I'm taking one of these wood signs from Dollar Tree, again some ribbon, a little bit of florals, and my red chalk paint. I'm going to just give this sign a couple coats of my crimson Waverly chalk paint and make sure that dries, completely covering the black and the lettering as well. Once that's dry, I'm taking a pencil and you can see I'm just doing a cursive word love with some frilly tails. And I did make a heart for the O. I did need to go back and fix a couple things, but just using a pencil and eraser, I was able to fix that how I wanted it. And then I'm going to go over it with my medium tip painter's paint marker from Walmart. It's an Elmer's brand. And just go over it once, and then once that dries, I kind of go over it a couple more times just to make the lines nice and thick and uniform. Next, I'm just going to take some of these big berries from Walmart, and then I have some baby's breath. I'm just going to hot glue them a little bit to this end of my piece of wood, arranging them one little bit at a time and holding them down with my little finger protector. And then we will finish this up with a bow wrapped around between the picks and the word love. Originally, I was going to use some ribbon, but it was too small, so I decided to use a piece of this black and white buffalo check fabric that I got from Walmart in the fall, I believe, and I'm just tying it in a double knot just to give it a little bit more of a farmhouse look. And this sign, as you'll see in a second, once I figure out how to tie the knot, will just stand up on end, and I will give it one more last touch before we're finished. Here I'm just taking my black Sharpie marker and coloring in the inside of my heart O. This also helps tie in the black and white buffalo check fabric and just gives it a finishing touch. And here's what our project looks like. It's amazing what you can make with a little bit of florals and some ribbon and paint. Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you guys will stay tuned for some new spring decor DIYs coming up very, very soon. And again, don't forget to enter the giveaway for the chalkola products. See you soon. Bye.